Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be working on question 2 from question 20 file for the end of term exam. Question 2 says let f be the function defined by f of x equals sine squared of x minus sine of x for the given interval. So the domain is from 0 to 3 pi over 2 as you can see here. So this is the domain of the given function, or this is the given interval. Part A says find the x-intercepts of the graph of f. Part B, find the intervals in which f is increasing. Find the absolute maximum and minimum value of f. So starting with part A says find the x-intercept. The x-intercepts are the zeros or the roots of the function. So you have to set f of x equals to 0 and solve for x. So this is how you find the x-intercepts. So if you set the function, this is part A, if you set the function f of x equals to 0, that means sine squared of x minus sine of x equals 0. I can factor out sine from both terms. So sine of x is taken out as a common factor. That leaves us with sine of x minus 1 equals 0. So two things with a product of 0, that means the first thing is 0, that means sine of x equals 0, or the bracket equals 0. Sine of x minus 1 equals 0. You add 1 to both sides, that means sine of x equals 1. Now you will apply sine inverse on both sides. Sine inverse on both sides. So sine with sine inverse, that means x equals sine inverse of 0 and x equals sine inverse of 1. So you have to solve these two things. So x equals sine inverse of 0. Which angle has a sine of 0? So that is x equals 0 or x equals pi. And notice that those 2 points or 2x values lie in this domain from 0 to 3 pi over 2. Now which angle has sine of 1? It's pi over 2. It's pi over 2. So we have 3 x-intercepts for the given function on the given domain. X equals 0, pi, and pi over 2. Now in part B it says find the intervals in which f is increasing. You will find the derivative. So f prime of x equals, you will apply the chain rule. So it's 2 sine of x. Now differentiate the inner, which is going to be cos of x minus cos of x, and set it equal to 0 to find the critical points. Now there is something in common between the two terms, which is cos. We can factor it out. So cos of x is factored out. So 2 sine of x minus 1 equals 0. The same thing that we did in part A is also here. So two things with a product of 0. That means the first thing is 0, cos of x equals 0, or the bracket equals 0. 2 sine of x minus 1 equals 0. Get the 1 to the other side. 2 sine of x equals 1. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So sine of x equals half. When cos of x equals 0, when x equals 90 degrees, maybe, which is pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. Because cos of pi over 2 is 0, cos of 3 pi over 2 is also 0. Now when sine of x equals half, when x equals 30 degrees, 30 degrees is pi over 6. But also sine is positive in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, we say 180 minus 30 degrees, which is going to be 150. 150 degrees in radians form, it is 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6. All of these values belong to the given interval from 0 to 3 pi over 2. So we will investigate the number line and we will place these values on. So this is f prime. So the interval goes from 0 to 3 pi over 2. We will place pi over 6. We will place pi over 2 as well as 5 pi over 6. This is 5 pi over 6. Now you have to check the sign of f prime in between, so you have to apply angles in between these critical points and you have to substitute them in f prime of x. So if you substitute a value between 0 and pi over 6, this is going to be negative. Another value between pi over 6 and pi over 2, like 45, which is pi over 4. Plug in pi over 4 here, it will be positive. Choose a value between pi over 2 and 5 pi over 6, it will be negative. And lastly, choose a value here and check the sign of f prime, it will be positive. So negative means increasing, positive decreasing, increasing, decreasing. The question is asking for the intervals of increasing. The intervals of increasing are pi over 6 to pi over 2 and five pi over 6 and 3 pi over 2. So on these two intervals, f is increasing. This is part B. In part C, it says find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum for the function. So you have to apply the candidates test. You will list all the critical points and the endpoints. The first endpoint is 0, and then the critical point is pi over 6. You have also pi over 2. You have 5 pi over 6 and 3 pi over 2. You have to check the value of the function for each of these candidates. So f of 0, f of pi over 6, f of pi over 2, f of 5 pi over 6, and f of 3 pi over 2. You have to check the function for each of these candidates. So the first one will give you 0, this will give you negative 0.25, this is 0, this is negative 0.25, and this is 2. So notice that this is the highest, so this is the absolute maximum, and one of these will be the absolute minimum. So the maximum value of the function, or the absolute maximum, is 2, and the absolute minimum is negative 0.25. So this is the absolute maximum or the global maximum, and this is the global minimum for f of x on the given interval from 0 to 3 pi over 2. So this is part A, B, and C for question 2 from question 25. I hope that was clear. All the best, everyone. Thank you.